Former President Donald Trump endorsing Jim Jordan for House Speaker late last night, despite some lawmakers calling for Trump himself to take the gavel. In a post on Truth Social, he says, quote, "As president, I had the honor of presenting Jim Jordan with our country's highest civilian award, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. He is strong on crime, borders, our military vets, and Second Amendment. He will be a great Speaker of the House and has my complete and total endorsement." Joe Concha, Fox News contributor and columnist for The Messenger, has my complete and total endorsement to do this segment, so we bring him on now. Joe, doesn't this make Jim Jordan the presumptive frontrunner, if not the slam dunk choice?
It does two things, Todd. This underscores something that is readily apparent already. Donald Trump is not only the clear GOP frontrunner, he is also the leader of this party. Because once he made that endorsement late last night, all of Jordan's competitors for the job of House Speaker got right behind him. Selfishly, strictly for entertainment purposes, I wanted Trump to be the House Speaker, at least until the State of the Union address, because then you would have the perfect scenario. You have the president and Joe Biden. You have above his right shoulder Kamala Harris, the vice president, and above his left shoulder Donald Trump making Donald Trump faces whenever Biden made a false claim about the economy or the border or foreign policy. And then at the end of the speech, stands up, rips the thing in half, and then the next day leads impeachment inquiries into his 2024 opponent before going back to the campaign trail. That would have been great for entertainment purposes for you and me and this show. That's not going to happen. Jim Jordan will be the next House Speaker, barring a miracle.
I don't know about that. If Donald J. Trump is watching this show, he may hear your suggestion and think, I kind of like that, being over his shoulder, because the optics of that, you know, Trump loves optics. The optics of that are groundbreaking. I mean, the game changer there. Somebody who, you know, doesn't necessarily know optics, speaking, or any of that good stuff. VP Kamala Harris, radio silent on her boss's decision to build a border wall. But you may remember, Joe, here's what she said about Trump's wall in 2019.
This administration has decided to vilify them and to trade on them for the sake of this president's medieval vanity project called a wall. Let me be very clear. I'm not going to vote for a wall under any circumstances. So, yes, I'm all for increased border security where we need it. I am not for a wall.
The border czar, Joe, will be in St. Louis today. Thoughts?
Yeah, the fact that we've barely heard from this vice president since she took office 2.5 years ago. She's yet to do one press conference as vice president. Last check, Mike Pence did multiple when he was vice president. And she has a Twitter X account, by the way. So if she wanted to make a statement about this new development as far as the Biden administration building at least a little bit of a wall without being challenged in any way, shape, or form as far as questions, she could have done that. Instead, it's the silence of the lamb. And this is why she'll never be president, by the way, if the baton is ever passed to her, Todd. She has this record as border czar to run on, which, if you could give anything below an F- at this point, she would receive it. This is the person who once compared ICE to the KKK, after all. Any comment from that, by the way, Madam Vice President, as far as your boss building a wall? Of course not. And here we are, and we're the only show probably, and others on this network, that can play back those clips of Kamala Harris at this point.
Let's quickly get in. Hillary Clinton may be topping her basket of deplorables moment. Quickly, watch.
So many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure. You know, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs to happen.
And how do you do that? Because you said you have to defeat them by defeating their leader. Their leader is Donald Trump.
At this point, I think, sadly, he will still likely be the nominee, and we have to defeat him.
15 seconds to you, Joe.
Yeah. It's so sad to see Hillary Clinton entering what will be about the 7th year of a public therapy tour. It's Festivus in every interview with Ms. Clinton. An airing of grievances signifying nothing, Todd. It's sad to see.
And she's no Frank Costanza. You are Joe Concha. You have a great weekend. Go Bears. Justin Fields had a good one last night. So did DJ Moore. Fox and Friends right now.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.